Hello everybody, welcome to my What's Up Wednesday. Today it's February 11th. We're on episode 6 of What's Up Wednesday. And if you watch my Tuesday video, you will know that I went in to have my finger had to have a little bit of surgery on it. So I didn't know if I'd be able to stamp or not. And then I decided I don't want to stamp. So we're going to talk about adhesives tonight. And we'll talk about the differences of them and what each one of them are good for, because I don't know that everybody really knows that or thinks about that and thinks about when to use them. So that is something that we are going to talk about here in just a few minutes. But right now, I just want to welcome everybody. If you've not been to What's Up Wednesday yet, it's just what it is. What's Up Wednesday could be about anything. I try to keep it Stampin' related. It doesn't have to be. I mean, you know, I can talk about what's going on in life, maybe, or just whatever, because I don't want to just be the Stampin' Up! Demonstrator sitting here. I want to be your friend, and I want to be somebody that, you know, you can talk to, that you know, that you can feel like I'm a friend because you might know me, and the only way you can know me is to get to know about me. So there might be some of that in here. I'm a very transparent person. If you haven't seen my Tuesday videos, you probably don't know that. If you've seen my Tuesday videos, you know that I'm very transparent, and I share whatever, you know, with my friends, all of my stamping friends on here. But anyway, I love to talk about adhesives. I love to talk about anything stamping, and I love to teach it. And if you didn't know, I've taught stamping for like 30 years. So I've, you know, been around the block a couple times with this and that. So I'm going to turn my camera down because I'm actually going to show you the adhesives and talk about each and every one of them, okay? So let's turn the camera down. And Miss Moxie's not around, so, you know, you don't have to worry about her as much as we usually do. And I got my lights not facing. There we go, put some more light on here. I am going to also bring you up on my monitor so I can see that I am staying in here, since I'm actually sitting down. I usually stand, so I might bring my camera just down just a little bit lower, or see if I can stretch that out. Okay, let's bring it down a little bit lower. Okay, let's do that. All right, so the camera is down a little bit lower so you can see what I am talking about. Here is a sheet that I made up for a class that I taught called Back to Stamping 101. And this is a sheet on adhesives. And I am going to name off the adhesives. I will show them to you. I will tell you what they are good for. I will put this up on my Stamp Crazy VIP group in the file section. I need to change my email in here because I do have an email address I've been using strictly for stamping called Stamp Crazy by Rita Holmes at gmail.com. So I do want to change that on here. And then I will be able to put that up for you guys if you would like to have a copy of this and help you remember what we're going to talk about. So I am just going to go down the list, and yes, you see my finger with my big old bandage on it. They actually took my whole fingernail off, and it's a little sore, but you know, we'll get through it. It's okay. And they sent it off for a biopsy, and all's good. They don't think anything's really wrong after they got it off, which is good. I'd rather them take it off and find nothing wrong than to leave it on there and something be wrong. So let's go to this, adhesive sheets. And if you haven't seen the adhesive sheets, they are like this. They come in big sheets, and you can cut them. You know, it's hard when your index finger doesn't work. So adhesive sheets are, let's turn it this way and see if I can get that out. They come like this. They're a sheet, and they're actually great for die cuts. You can put your die cuts on here, or cut a piece, actually. Cut a piece and put your cardstock on here and then your die cuts, and you can cut them out, and then you can peel off. See, they both, you can peel off the sides. I got 2 sheets here, but these will peel off. They're hard to get going, so it's like right here. The sheet is in between here. So you have a sticky side on both sides. So you could cut out die cuts and actually make stickers out of them. This is great for that. Or, you know, if you have some small pieces of, if you're cutting some small strips and stuff of scraps, and you could make stickers out of those, or you could put this on like a sheet of like 5 by 3 3/4 or whatever size, if you were going to cover it with strips and make like scrappy strip cards. This is great for that. So that is our adhesive sheets. Another thing we can talk about is the fine tip glue pen. Now, honestly, I have no idea where mine is. And honestly, it's because I don't use it. But I'll show you what it looks like in the catalog. It's in the annual catalog on page 113, and it's this right here. It's a clear liquid with a little tip there. It has a top that has a little like needle that'll fit down in there. Now I find that still clogs up, so I don't tend to use that. I would rather use, and we'll get to it later, my other glue with the precision glue gun, which Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell. Another thing is, if you can find quickie glue pens, I get them off of Amazon now. These work great because they're glue in this pen, and it's like a ballpoint pen, and you can just drop little dots of glue somewhere. This works really, really good. So those are a couple things that I use, and I just want to be honest. Some people love this. I'm just not a fan, and so wherever mine went, it's somewhere, but it might be in the other part of my room where stuff I don't use. But anyway, it is there. So I wanted to show you that. But it is good for like small embellishments or like detailed die cuts, you know, something that you need just a little tiny bit of glue on it. Okay, our foam adhesive strips. I don't have a full package of that, but they are these right here, and they're just foam like our dimensionals, only they're a little bit thicker. They're great for shaker cards. Best thing in the world to make a shaker card. But our foam adhesive strips are good. You can put them on cardstock strips. You know, like I said, they are great to make, yeah, just went out of my head. Shaker cards and things like that. Anything that you want to stand up higher, you can cut this into pieces and use it. It works really, 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 really good for that. So there are those. Our next thing is our foam adhesive sheets. That is this right here. And what this is good for, it's for cardstock and paper and die cuts and that. But what's nice about it, let me get a piece out. I have pieces that I've cut stuff out of. Look at that. You can cut dies out of this, in which I did that. This was on a Christmas card where I cut the stable out because I wanted it to stand up. And that's what you can do with these. You can take and put your cardstock on here with dies if you want to cut a die out and you really want it to stand out, or like a small piece of cardstock of whatever, you know, even a bigger size, and you want the whole thing to stick up and you want it to not collapse. You would want something like this. They are great for those type of things. So that is foam adhesive sheets. But they work great on die cuts, especially stuff that's got some intricate stuff in there and you want it to stand up really good. Let's just cut them out of here, and they work out really well. So our next thing is mini glue dots. you know, our mini, and everybody knows what glue dots are. They come like this in a box of a roll of about, I don't even remember how many is in a roll. It tells me back here somewhere. 300. And here's a full roll. So it comes like that. It's great to use on the backs of ribbons. It's great to use on your die cuts. It's, you know, as you're putting them on cards, especially leaves and stuff like that. It says on here, it's good for cardstock and paper. It's small embellishments, large embellishments, ribbon, detailed die cuts. I mean, they are such a universal thing to use. And what I do is, here's my glue dots, they're right here, and I usually just stick my die cut or whatever on there, and it pulls right up with it, and I use them like that. They are great to use. So we have those. Now the multi-purpose liquid glue, if you're used to Stampin' Up! People using glue, it's called our green glue. Comes like this. You do need to, if you're using it, have it stand upside down. It always keeps the glue up to the tip so it doesn't dry out. This happens to be a glue stand that my son made, and works out great because your tip's not all the way at the bottom. And you can open that, your tip will stay down here, and this is up here, and it works out really good. This does have another end to it. I hardly ever use it, but it's like a glue stick. And you can use that also for, I don't use that for something that I want to be really, really permanent, but I use it if I want it to hold something. And, you know, just to see maybe where it's going to go, peel it up, put some glue on it, things like that. But I'm not used to using that as a permanent type glue. But I put that into, I have the precision glue gun that's by My Sweet Petunia, and I'm not affiliated with anybody. I'm just showing you what I use. It comes with a thing of glue in here. It's their glue. I like our green glue better. So once I use their glue out of here, I put green glue in here. Works wonderful. But it takes about 2.5 of these bottles of glue to fill this up. So it lasts a good while once you fill it up. Okay? So that's how I use our green glue, and it makes some really tiny lines and little dots, and that's what I use instead of the fine tip glue. Okay, now let's move on to Stampin' Dimensionals. We have Stampin' Dimensionals, we have the mini ones, we have the black ones. So let's look at this. Here's a pack of the regular ones. You get 300 in a pack, and that is our regular. Here's the black. It is a multi-pack, and let's see if it tells us how many we get of each. It's 680 altogether, and they're 3/8 inch and 1/4 inch ones in here, which is, here's the black small ones. Here's the black big ones. And I think you get maybe 2 of each in here. 2 of these and 2 of these. This is great for dark cardstock. When you're wanting to pop stuff up and it's all dark cardstock, this is great because you don't see it. So one package goes a long way because you don't always use them, but they're nice to have around. And you know, our Stampin' Dimensionals, they are good for cardstock and paper, small embellishments, large embellishments, 3D objects, and detailed die cuts. They're good for really basically everything but ribbon, but I'll have to say I have put them on ribbon. But that is those, and here is our big ones, and then our little ones, I put that up already. You can get a package of the white, the mini ones, that's all one pack. So I do color on mine so that when I'm putting them on something, like if I put one here, if it was just white and I took off the backing, then I'd have to touch it to see if I got it off if I didn't remember. So when this is on here, I know if the color's up there, I haven't taken the backing off yet. I just take Sharpie markers and just scribble on the backs of them. And I have several colors of Sharpie markers, so you never know what color I might. Forgot to put my phone on silent. Okay, Stamp and Seal. And our Stamp and Seal is right here. It is like a Tombow glue runner, whatever. Stamp and Seal has a very good seal to it. It's good for cardstock and paper, ribbon, 3D projects. You can use this on a lot of stuff. Even large embellishments and stuff. You can use this on different things. But we have Stamp and Seal. We also have Stamp and Seal Plus. How you tell the difference is this is a lighter, like a teal color, where this is more blue. Stamp and Seal, it is great for 3D projects, more so than Stamp and Seal regular. It's got a very tight bond to it. So once you put it down, it's down. You know, Stamp and Seal doesn't like to come back up, so you want to be sure that when you use it, that you've put it down where it needs to go. Okay, so we have those, and then we have tear and tape. Tear and tape is great. It's used on cardstock. It's used on large embellishments, ribbon, 3D objects, and you peel that off, stick it down, and then this will come off. So it's like two-sided tape. It actually tears, so when you put that on something, say you're making a box and you run that strip along there and you get to the edge, you just tear it. You don't have to sit and get scissors out and cut it. It tears and you have that. Makes it really, really nice. I'll stick this back on here because I can always use it. But I wanted you to see that. This is 1/4 inch. Works well. Like I said, it works really well for making 3D projects is what I wanted to say. Or a piece of ribbon. You can put this down and then put your ribbon on top of it. When I wrap my ribbon around to the back, sometimes you can use this and put it to hold that ribbon down, and then it'll stick to your card base. Works really well for that. So that is going over, that is Stampin' Up's adhesives. Now I want to talk about a couple other things that we have that I think is great. And it's not that they're an adhesive, but we do carry one thing, and it's masking paper, which is kind of like an adhesive. But as you can see, I've cut circles out of here. I do that to make moons and suns and stuff. But you can take this, you can take a die cut and cut out of here and put this over, like if you've got a die cut on your card, put this over if you want to go around it, or if you've got a stamped image, you know, stamp your image on here and cut it out, whatever. But this is masking paper. You can put it down, you can peel it back up. My suggestion when you use this is when you first cut that, take it onto your leg of your jeans or whatever and kind of put it down once or twice and take it back up. It takes that first bit of tackiness off so it doesn't rip your paper, because sometimes that can happen. But that's Stampin' Up's. You can also buy it if you want big rolls of it. I got this from Amazon. It is basic, it's masking paper. And so it works too to cut out different things, different objects, or sizes if you want, you know, different sizes for stuff. I do the same with this, which is, this is great to use. It's removable, it's Post-it note tape. And it doesn't have a lot of sticky to it at all. So you can pull out as big a sheet as you need and use it on your cards. Painter's tape. This is a low-tack painter's tape in different sizes that you can use. You can put this across and make stripes in your cards. You know, if you put a couple rows of it and then, you know, take a blending brush in between, you can do things like that. There's 3. This is all Amazon stuff. I'll tell you that. And these are just a couple other things I use that are like more of a removable adhesive for doing different projects. So there is so much stuff out there that you can do, but I wanted to let you know about the adhesives, what the different ones will do. I can put this in our files on Stamp Crazy VIP. If you don't belong to that, you can go join it. You can go to the files and get PDFs. There's tons and tons and tons of PDFs there. So you can get all of that of what you need. And but I will change my email address on there, and then I'll get this up for you, for anybody to have to print off for a reference for your adhesives. So let me turn the camera back up for a second. And then I'm going to have to move it up because you can't see me. There we go. So what do you think? Was that a good description of all the adhesives? Did you like it? Let me know in the comments when you watch this, because I would like to know what you guys like and what you don't, so I know what to do in the future, because there are so many things that I could teach you, and maybe not even just, I don't want to say teach you, but maybe jog your memory back from things that you learned a long time ago that you just don't remember. You know, that happens to me. You know, when I'm going back to the basics, I forget about some of that stuff. And I have a lot of stuff on Back to Basics that I can show you. I have references for it of printouts and different things. So if you would like to see some of that stuff, just let me know in the comments, and then that'll know, because I would like to get ideas from you guys what you would like to see. I will bring a few techniques and stuff as far as stamping goes to you. I like to do that in my Tuesday videos, but I do more fun folds than that there. But I will be demonstrating maybe some techniques and just different things. But right now, this is all I wanted to bring to you is adhesives. So I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that it is useful to you, if nothing else. I really hope that there is some use of what these adhesives are for, so that maybe you can use them more. You can utilize using some of those to help you with your stamping, and or your scrapbooking, whatever. That's really going to help you in being able to use those. So with all that being said, I am going to go, and I hope you have a fabulous Wednesday, and be creative when you can, and come back on Saturday to see my Simply Saturday video of whatever I'm going to do then. I don't even know yet, but I promise you there will be one, okay? So you guys have a great, great, great day and a great rest of your week. Be safe, be healthy, and be creative, okay? Bye-bye.